I set boundaries between work and what you call this, my personal time.
That's
so I disconnect. I try and disconnect because nowadays the hustle and bustle of everything,
Got you.
It has an effect on your mental being, wellness. So you need to have that time off.
It is that time to jump into your Royal Hustlers. I love this segment because we get to learn about people, get to know people, and get to be inspired. Today we have Stanley Karuhumba is an IM infrastructure specialist working for Namdeb Namibia. He has previously worked at the Namibia Institute of Pathology as head of IT infrastructure and support service, and Salt Essentials IT as a service desk engineer for 5 years. Stanley joins us in studio to shed light on his career. Mr. Stanley, good morning this morning, my brother. How are you? Good, sir.
Mooks, how are you doing?
I am awesome. Are you a morning person?
Not quite, but yeah. So that makes me a morning person, I'd say.
So on a regular, you're not really quite a morning person like that?
I'm in between.
In between.
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Stanley, can you tell us a little about your childhood and how that contributed to the gentleman you are today?
Oh, well, I perhaps start. I grew up in the dusty townships of Karutura.
Okay.
Way back in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
From Hero location, then we moved over to Regmansdorp, I believe. That was early 83, 84, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I spent most of my childhood. Went to school at St. Barnabas, Bethel initially for my primary. Senior primary went to St. Barnabas, which was somewhere there by the central locations of Karutura. I then went to high school, St. Torres. So it was quite a big jump from, it was a Hero medium, Afrikaans Hero medium school to an English-speaking school. So that was quite a journey.
It was.
Yeah. So I matriculated there in 96, where I then joined a company called ISU Campus. It was a South African-based institution which was offering sort of apprenticeship in IT sort of studies, certifications. I did a stint there, so we were contracted to do a bit of both. So during the day we would be at Telecom, where we act as normal technicians, where we get the hands-on practicals. After hours, we were required to be on campus, where we were helping set up the computer labs, as well as attend to studies. It was quite
hectic.
It was hectic because there were nights we spent there. I mean, we slept there.
When you say sleep there, it's like you would just pull a chair and lay the head down?
No, you would be busy all night.
Oh my goodness.
And
so that's on your feet all day? All
day. So you will get an hour of sleep maybe in between, and then go home, change, back to Telecom again.
There's been a huge leap, and I guess you'll probably be the right person to shed a little light on that. The technology, since you're in IT, the technology back then and the technology right now, is there a major difference, or the systems are still
huge difference? Because where I started off was fairly bottom up. So we did the actual physical technical stuff, and back then, I mean, we were doing networks on coaxial cable. Coaxial cable is like your normal aerial radio cable. So computers were talking through that medium then. Now we're talking of gigs and gigs. I mean, hard drives were 128 meg. That was the size of a hard drive, basically.
120 meg.
120 meg.
And now
you're speaking of gigs and terabytes. So the jump from then to now, it's huge. It's
a huge jump. You mentioned something interesting. You said you primary school was Bethel.
Bethel Timumwine.
Oh, is it Windhoek? Am I confusing the one
it's in
Dongoro?
Windhoek. It's right in the middle of a rural location. My grandfather, in fact, was the headmaster there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like having a grandfather being the headmaster?
Not so nice. So you'll get a beating at school and a beating at home.
It's double. At school and at home.
So I couldn't cause much trouble in school because I had it both ways.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the things that keeps you really grounded? This is now outside of work, outside of life. What are some of the things you get up to that just keeps you grounded in life?
I set boundaries between work and what you call this, my personal time. So I disconnect. I try and disconnect because nowadays the hustle and bustle of everything,
Got you.
It has an effect on your mental being, wellness. So you need to have that time off. So I keep a balance where I do a lot of exercising, going to the gym, and just having time off with the family. So work, when I'm at work, it's work. When I get home,
it's home.
It's home. So there's a clear, distinct line. So I disconnect from the two worlds.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Because of time, is there any leadership and business advice that you can share with our listeners this morning?
I would say number one, to be a leader, I think you should lead by example. Whatever values or discipline or methods that you choose to follow or do, you should lead that. You should be doing that for others to be able to sort of have an uptake on that. So that's one. Then it's developing a mindset of people rather than you uplift and try and get the next individual to the next level. That's perhaps another bit of advice I can give and foster a growth, a growing sort of mindset where you challenge people to learn and grow. Yeah.
Good, sir. I don't want to put you on the spot, but we're having a conversation this morning. And our conversation that we're having with the listeners is, what is your relationship with money like these days? But what I would like to get out of you is, if there's any something that you've learned about money, something interesting that you've learned about money, or even something that is mundane that you could share with our listeners.
Well, I might start by saying I'm very frugal with money.
Okay.
Very frugal, although I enjoy the finer things in life here and there. We all like
the nice things.
Yeah, everybody wants that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm very frugal, very disciplined.
Got you.
When I set my mind to what I want to achieve, I try and keep. So discipline is required in the aspect of money. So a lot of the time, people are very spontaneous and very. You're driven on impulse, basically. So you should try and limit to. Sometimes the heart and the eyes likes, but you must. Is it a need? Is it something that you want, or is it a need?
Beautiful.
So you must. It's a balance.
The heart and the eyes like, but is it a need? Mr. Stanley, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning.
Thank you, Mooks.
There you have it.
Thanks for having me.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Royal Hustler this morning.